Welcome to our video about Comply Desktop Grid Controls. You'll find data displayed in grids in many desktop tabs, and virtually all of them feature a common set of controls and behaviors. In this video, we'll show you how to use the grids and customize them. We'll cover column sorting, resizing, and reordering, as well as paging and display rows and grid height settings. As described, you'll find grid controls in various tabs: the Calendar tab, Client Profile tab, Client Search, so on and so forth. Let's use the Calendar tab to see how it works. At the risk of stating the obvious, grids are composed of columns and rows, and if there are more columns and rows than display on the screen, you can use the horizontal scroll bar to look across columns, and the vertical scroll bar to scroll down through rows. You can resize column widths by hovering the mouse over any column divider until the cursor shape changes, and then hold down your mouse button and drag right or drag left to size a column to just the width that you'd like to see. You can also sort by any column by clicking the column name. For example, I will click Packs, and you'll see now that the grid is displayed in packs number order. In addition, you can sort in descending order by clicking the column name again. You'll see a little black arrow indicator to the right of the column that you just sorted that shows if the column is sorted in ascending or descending order. You can even do multi-column sorting. For example, suppose you want to sort clients alphabetically within test location. Start with a subsort first. So first, I'll click on Client Name. You'll see it sorted in alphabetical order. And next, I'll click on Test Location. You can see now the clients are sorted alphabetically within test location. You can subsort up to 3 columns. I'll leave that as an exercise for you. Just remember, click on your smallest subsort column first, working your way out to your major sort. Finally, within the grid itself, you can rearrange columns. To do so, you click on the column name, holding down your mouse button, and drag it left or right. For example, if I'm a calendar administrator and I would like to display the test location name to the left of the client name, click on Test Location, holding down the mouse, drag it left. You'll see a small visual indicator showing where the column will land, and now Test Location is positioned to the left of client name. That's it for rows and columns. So let's move on to the other controls below the grid. The grid can display up to 100 rows, but your list may well exceed that. So the grid splits the data into pages, and you navigate from page to page using the VCR controls in the bottom left corner. The right arrows advance the pages one page at a time. The fast forward button will take you to the very end of the list. Alternately, the left buttons will take you one page at a time or all the way to the beginning of the list. There's also a slider control in between the arrows that you can grab and drag to take you anywhere in the middle of the grid you would like. To the right is the display rows value. Display rows allow you to change the rows displayed per page. By default, the setting is 25, but you can set it as high as 100. Once you've changed the value, click the Apply button, and you'll see that the vertical scroll bar has gotten smaller, and now I'm scrolling up and down through a list of 100 clients, not 25. To the right is grid height. This controls the physical view height of the grid. Let me show you. We'll change it from 20 to 40, and you'll see that the actual height of the grid is now doubled in size. Similar to the display rows, you can set this as high as 100, but you may not want to go that high as you'll lose view of other controls on the screen. And if you find yourself in this situation, all grid controls have a Reset Grid link in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that, and it will take you back to the default settings of 25 display rows and a grid height of 20. Now you'll be happy to know that Comply remembers every setting I've just showed you, well, except sorting. So after you adjust your grid and close the desktop and open it later, you'll find it just the way you left it. On some grids, you can click and highlight one or more rows to take additional actions, like picking clients to reschedule appointments. Let me walk you through it and a few different click combinations to highlight one or more rows. To select a single row, simply click on it. You'll note that on the Calendar tab, there's a client calendar at the top because it's very important here, and it has now changed from 0 to 1. If the grid allows you to highlight multiple rows, you have two ways to do it. In the first method, click the first row to highlight, and then while holding down the Control key on your keyboard, select any other rows that you would like to highlight and select within the grid. You'll see that my client count has now gone from 1 to 5. If you happen to click on a row that's already selected, control clicking will deselect that row. So using control click, you can randomly select clients that may not be sorted in order. The second method is by using click and then shift click. Let me take advantage of deselect all to clear my selections. You may use shift clicking when your clients are sorted in a particular order. Here we have them sorted in alphabetical client name order within test location. To select a block of clients, click the first client that you'd like to select, hold down the Shift key, move down the list, and then shift click. You'll now highlight all the clients between the first and the last one that you click. Now, a special note, as you've already seen, the Calendar tab has a Select All and Deselect All button. They behave exactly as you would expect. You will not see these buttons on other tabs. So we've reached the end. Now you are an expert on Comply grid controls. Thank you for joining us today.